Hey guys, I'm BMOC. You're now tuned into BMOC.TV. To discuss this album and lots of other music discussions, check out our official Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/BMOCTV. So today I want to talk about the brand new album from A$AP Rocky. I thought it was going to be released like the first week of June, but he kind of sneaked up on us and dropped the stream today, May 26th. So I had to review this album ASAP. Get it? Like, A$AP Rocky, A$AP. A little played out joke, but sue me. And it's called At Long Last A$AP, his third studio album. So to start the album off, he has a track called Holy Ghost, where he talks about some of the corrupt churches, not all churches, but some corrupt churches where the preacher takes money and doesn't give back, and it's kind of robbing the congregation. But he also talks about his, direct relationship with God and not necessarily have to be in a church to praise him, which I thought was pretty cool. He also talks about some MCs who are, slaves in a sense to their deal in the music industry, and trying to drop like some knowledge on some other MCs that maybe he's had encounter with, or maybe just trying to just kick knowledge at somebody who's been in the game for a little while. So definitely interesting track to start off with, very introspective, dope. Then he follows up with a track called Canal Street, which gives me a real backpacker feel. With this project, A$AP is trying just different sounds and different things creatively, which I really appreciate. I really love how the beat just builds with this one. It starts so simplistic and it kind of builds on and builds on as you listen to the song. Really cool. Then we get into Fine Whine featuring Future, MIA, and Joe Fox. If I could compare this song to a painting, it would be like an all-white canvas with like stripes of black and like a splash of orange. I know that's really, really deep. When I listened to it, that's what I felt like. I felt like I was like listening to a moving painting. I love the down-tempo production for this. I feel like the template for a classic album nowadays is to have like a down-tempo beat. Kendrick's done some, J. Cole, Big Sean Wale. Those down-tempo beats where you kind of just really rap over like a dark, simplistic beat and just, go crazy with it lyrically. And on this one, I love how the drums switch up with each new feature. When MIA comes up, the drums do something, and then Future comes up and it switches again. Love it, very creative. Next we get into a song called LSD. I'm trying to match how he does it, so it's like LSD. A very different look for A$AP. He's pretty much singing throughout the whole song. Doesn't sound bad. They added some effects to it. He isn't doing a Boys II Men or the track, but it gives that vibe. Almost like a Kid Cudi-ish type of sound. And for the song, I feel like he's either using LSD, the drug, as a metaphor for a relationship, or relationship as a metaphor for LSD. But either way, you pick whatever works for you. It's very melodic, very trap emo. I don't know if that's even a term, but I'm gonna use it. Trap emo. Probably the catchiest song on the album. Kids, don't do LSD. Adults, don't do LSD. But again, it is a very catchy song. It also gives me like a Moby feel. Y'all remember like Moby? He had those like emo tracks, and with the vocal effects just kind of like echoed. Yeah, like that. It echoes throughout the song. That's what it really gives me. Just that little tripped out feel. Moby's also from Harlem. That's a fun fact for you guys that didn't know. Moby's actually from Harlem. So maybe they could do a collaboration somewhere down the line. Who knows? Then we get into a song called Lord Pretty Flacco Jody 2. The beat is stupid. I love the L.A. synths in it. Really L.A. West Coast-ish. Love it. Definitely Trunk Banger certified. I also could have heard A$AP Ferg on this one too. I'm surprised he didn't make any of the tracks on his album. Him being like the second main person in the A$AP mob. But I could definitely hear him maybe like on a remix or something for this. Then we get into Electric Body featuring Schoolboy Q. Rocky's flow is just so in pocket on this. Like, I don't know how he's been writing before, like the time he took off, but like he's really like in the pocket. His delivery, his cadence is crazy. Schoolboy Q as well. Like, I've never heard a feature from Schoolboy where he lets me down. In fact, this beat is so much like him. I could have saw this on Schoolboy's album and A$AP being the feature. But both of them like really go ham. I know people still say ham, but they go in ham on this track. Then we get into Jukebox Joints featuring Joe Fox and Mr. Kanye West, Kanye Tuda. He also produced the track as well. And this song kind of gives me like Devil in a Blue Dress, the track off of Kanye West's Dark Twisted Fantasy. that gives me that soulful, smooth feel. I really like how they go back and forth with the verses, real hip hop, old school like, but again, very smooth. I love the sample changes at the end of it, and you know, Kanye's a beast with those tracks like that. So hopefully when, you know, Kanye comes back out with another album, he has some tracks like this. Then we get to one of the most interesting songs on the project, which is called Wavybone, featuring Juicy J and UGK. And when I mean UGK, I don't just mean Bun B, I mean Pimp C and Bun B. It's an original Pimp C verse that's never been heard before, which is pretty cool. It's clearly a standout, and I actually could have heard Big Boy on a song like this as well, how to just the beat style, but great. Then we get to a couple of songs that wasn't really my favorite. One was called West Side Highway featuring James Fauderoy. The beat is just really, really different. I was trying to catch it. You know, I love my head nod music. Can't really catch the beat too much. So it's very interesting. It's definitely different than some of A$AP Rocky's earlier production-wise, but it just didn't really fit for me. I felt the same way about Better Things. I'm sure some people will disagree with it. He does this Rita Ora in it, which makes it interesting. But in terms of like just sonically wise, the West Side Highway and this one just wasn't really my cup of tea right now. Maybe with some more spins I'll get into it, so who knows. Then we get to a song called M's featuring Lil Wayne, Weezy F Baby, all that Young Money, no cash money, Young Money on the song. If you want to turn up, like just put a song and just turn up in the car, turn up at a party, this is the song for you. I actually think Weezy had one of the better verses on this song, but both of them made a great tag team for this, so it was a great spot for the album. Then we get to a very standout track, just based off the track listing, you know, of who was featured on the song. It's Miguel, Mark Ronson, who produced the track, and Rod Stewart. Out of like all the people I would have thought of, I would have thought maybe Lionel Richie would have collaborated with A$AP Rocky before Rod Stewart. Now, of course, this is probably a sample. I'm about 95% sure this is a sample. I'm not the biggest Rod Stewart fan, but I've never heard this song before, but it could be a very popular song if you're a Rod Stewart fan, who knows. But just the fact that A$AP Rocky is willing to do a song that has a Rod Stewart hook, a Rod Stewart anything, is pretty impressive. Miguel does his thing, so does Mark Ronson. I can definitely see this being pushed as a single just based on the names involved and how much that Rod Stewart sample probably cost them. I can see this being pushed on radio. Then to close out the album, the last song is called Back Home. It features A-Side and Mos Def. Mos Def brings a dope verse. Mos Def, we need another album from you, man. We need some more songs. We need something, because Mos Def is sick. I just gotta hear more music from him like this year. I'm also digging the production as well. It reminds me of something that could have been on like Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. You know, I think it's really interesting when the younger artists kind of channel that early 90s, mid 90s vibe. I think that's pretty cool. The track also has some words from ASAP Yams, who's a deceased member in the crew, the A$AP Mob. He recently passed away, so this album's almost like a tribute to his life, as well as the album cover for this project. So overall, that was a pretty creative project, you know, just sonically, from some of the beat changes that he used to some of the flow patterns. You can tell he's trying to like broaden his musical palette, which is always appreciated. I did think he could have cut maybe, you know, 3 or 4 songs, kind of maybe put those out and kept the album, you know, smaller. But, you know, there's only really two songs I really wasn't feeling. I think lengthwise it ran a little long, but it was still a pretty great album. This is definitely an album where I feel that the more times I play it, I'm gonna like just catch little things I didn't hear the first few times. But again, salute to A$AP Rocky for, again, adding one more for, you know, the younger generation of MCs coming out. Again, trying to be eclectic, trying to be diverse. So salute to him. So what did you guys think? You know, based off the singles that have come out, or if you heard the full album, which is on Spotify, you can stream it now. I believe the physical release is still going to be next week, I believe. But right now it's on Spotify. You can listen to it legally. And tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. Also, if you like this review, check out my last review. It was on Boosie Badass's Touchdown to Cause Hell. You can also check out my first music video for this channel. It was an iPad mashup of Beyonce, Queen Latifah, and Missy Elliott. I produced, edited the whole thing myself. You can check both those videos out right now on my channel. As most of you guys know, I post new videos every week, so feel free to check back at youtube.com/BMOCTV. Please subscribe, or BMOC.TV. I'm BMOC. Peace.